Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's time for the Dota 2 Super League. I'm LD. I'm joined by Gods. The International 3 East qualifiers just wrapped up, but we're right back at it. It's going to be LGD China versus Invictus Gaming. And Gods, this one pretty much decides the group.
Yeah, Group A is really sort of heated up. There's been a couple unexpected results, most noticeably the team who's in first place and is guaranteed first place, Tongfu. If you need any justification of their invite to the International, this is it.
And we've seen some great results from this team. I believe they took down LGD in the group stage as well.
They took down everyone except
LGD. That's the one they didn't. But even then, they gave them a great fight.
Yeah, that was the series they lost 2-1. They 2-0'd IG. They beat Vici Gaming 2-0. I think they won all their series 2-0, apart from the series against LGD, which was a close 2-1 series. That was kind of where people were like, oh, why do you take away LGD's invite for this team? But then, well, you 2-0 IG.
And then they showed you why.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick look at our groups now, where things stand here in the Dota 2 Super League, so you guys can understand the importance of this match over in Group A. As you can see, we've got Invictus Gaming and LGD both on 2-1. Vici Gaming, they actually have played all their matches. I was just telling LD they haven't played all their matches. They played all their matches. They're 2-2. The problem is we're going to see only 3 teams advance to the playoffs. So the way that this works is that whoever wins the match today, Invictus Gaming versus LGD, guaranteed second place in the group. The loser, though, is going to be tied in third place with Vici Gaming as far as win-losses go. But then we go into our tiebreakers, which first is your total games won. Right now, Vici Gaming not doing too well because both their series was 2-0 losses. So basically, I'll basically cut to the chase. If LGD lose 2-0 to Invictus Gaming, they're out. Vici Gaming advance. If LGD take just one game, all they have to do is take one game, lose 2-1, they're fine. They advance in third place. Vici Gaming are knocked out. So if they lose 2-0, they end up tied with Vici Gaming on games won and lost. Vici Gaming, however, win that tiebreak because Vici Gaming earlier on in the Dota 2 Super League actually managed to beat LGD.
So obviously, the best thing to do here for both teams, win the match, you're in. You lose it, then things get a little dicey.
Yeah, you'd probably much rather be in that second place in the group. You're guaranteed a slightly easier route in the playoffs. No one can get first place over Tongfu.
Right.
For LGD, the big thing is win one game.
And for LGD, they looked damn good. Now, they're up against Invictus Gaming, and we sort of look at the storylines coming into this match for both of these teams. IG, they used to be the top dogs, and it's scary to even think that, a few months back they were undefeated, had been for close to 6 months, but Gods, they've struggled recently. It seemed like the team was having a lot of problems at the G1 League. The players were understandably agitated, not happy with the results. Chuan even tweeted about them publicly, or posted on Facebook, I believe, was very disappointed, was very vocal about how they were going to improve, but they have not been in top form. LGD, however, they've been pretty damn close.
Yeah, LGD have. I think the few games they've lost and have dropped here and there have mostly been drafting mistakes. If you look back at G1 League, you make it to the grand finals. They had a very disappointing grand finals, a very one-sided grand finals, but it came down mostly to the draft. They dominated Rattlesnake in the TI3 Eastern Qualifiers grand finals. They proved that they are the same team, if not a better team from last year's International.
They seem to have a little bit more of, like a fire lit under them. And maybe that's because they were sent back to the qualifiers and they wanted to prove that they're worthy. They did it the hard way. They crushed their way through Rattlesnake yesterday. They are going to the International. They'll be one of the teams at the big dance. IG, your defending champions, well, they don't look so strong right now. Sure, they're going to Seattle, but we haven't really seen them at top form. If they're going to bounce back, they got to do it today.
Yeah, I think IG's a team, though, who they've had their problems here and there. They back in last G1 League completely bombed out. Same thing this year again. So it's kind of like a bit of deja vu, at least for me, considering both of us, since we actually casted that last G1 League LAN finals, and here we are again. IG need to bounce back. There's rumors of some internal problems, nothing really confirmed by any of the players. The team and the organization has actually denied it. Of course, any team organization will deny things
and then
like
someone
that.
Gets cut. Not saying cuts are coming for IG, but generally you want to keep things in-house as much as possible. And well, for IG, it was a team that was formed from 2 separate squads. There was IGY and IGZ, and there's Chuan, who's from Malaysia, has kind of his own social group as well to some extent. So you look at IG, it's never really been one unified team. They've banded together, they've played well together, they put their differences aside when it really counts, but they'll have to show that they can do that again today.
Well, there was even last year, looking back to the last G1 League LAN finals, there was videos of them arguing after matches, after their losses. All of it was sort of constructive arguments about what went wrong in the games. But
it wasn't just like, you suck, Ferrari. But
well, that was back when Chuan wasn't actually in those discussions, that people were saying Chuan was really upset with the team. But things happen. The IG, like every other Dota team, are normal. They have their disputes.
They're not perfect?
It doesn't mean they're going to go disband, guys. IG are not disbanding. Save it for Navi.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how they do with the international.
No.
Well, the chat will IG disband if they lose a game. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm just sort of alluding to the fact that Navi disband is probably the most spam thing after Kappa in Twitch chat.
After
here.
Dendy Face and Wind Waker, that's probably
Yeah.
Navi disband next. So, gods, we look at this matchup, best of 3. Who do you give an edge to? LGD looks stronger coming into it, but IG generally a team that rises to the occasion when the money's on the line, when something big is at stake. Do you think they can step up here and take the series off of LGD?
Yeah, my money's on IG here. I think they'll bounce back, and they'll bounce back pretty fast. They want to sort of deny these rumors of internal problems. They also just want to, for them, it hits their pride. If there's anything about IG which has sort of led to their success, is that they're very proud. They want to win. They don't care about the money. They don't care that they won $1 million at the last international. They care that they won.
They're gamers. They're Dota players. What are they going to spend the money on
some
anyway?
introductions going on here, actually, with some of these players. That's IG. I've got the Chinese stream going on in the background, but they're a very formidable team with, they don't really need much of an introduction, so to speak.
Legendary performances in the past, but Legends, well, we've seen even for ZSMJ, you can have this whole storyline, this whole legend behind you, but it's really all about what have you done for me lately. The fans of IG, they've had some short memories. Their fans had some harsh words for them on Facebook, I feel. But hey, you perform that well for that long, and people expect perfection.
One tournament you play badly, and suddenly it's
IG disband.
IG disband.
Please don't disband IG. At least not before the international.
Well, after what happened to LGD's invitation, I don't think we'll see that happening to any team now.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of teams might want to make roster changes, but not doing it now. I don't think Valve will look too kindly on that. So, specific predictions. You think IG is going to take it?
I think IG is going to take it.
2-0?
Ooh, I'm not sure on the score.
Okay.
I don't want to make a prediction there.
I'm going to say LGD, they maintain their current form. They'll take it 2-0. I think IG, I think they will bounce back, but I don't think quite yet.
To me, the real sad story here is Vici Gaming. They didn't qualify for the international, even the second place. They're not going to Seattle, and if LGD take one game here, they're knocked out. So they're knocked out of the international, they're knocked out of the Dota 2 Super League, and this is a team which was so hyped up, and hyped up with good reason. C2I has been playing amazing.
Sensational play.
They're a quality team, but
yeah. How far can one individual get you, though? Dota, ultimately, not a 1v1 game. It's a team sport, and, well, we'll see it now. We're on game 1 now underway, guys. LGD China versus Invictus Gaming. This one, a best-of-3 winner, is going to be second place in Group A. Loser, well, it comes down to tiebreakers with Vici Gaming. Will get very messy if that is the case. Gods, draft now underway. Picks, bans, so far look pretty standard. The one thing I am noticing is that Darkseer ban. This hero, LGD's really been favoring him as of late.
Yeah, they have. I was actually surprised one of the games against Rattlesnake, it wasn't picked or banned in the first stage. I'm like, what's going on? LGD, they won so many games with Yao and the Darkseer, but we'll see them here probably have the Kunkka in the pool, which actually IG banned against them last time around, back in the G1 League LAN finals. But I think that's an okay hero to give up. You're better off giving them Kunkka than the Darkseer or the Lone Druid. Sure, they've done decently with Kunkka, and it's one of their staple heroes, but it's by no means a sort of uncounterable hero.
Looks like we may be having a remake here as both captains have disconnected. So, well, we'll have a quick remake, but I'm still... They're delaying it, man. I'm getting excited. I'm building up my energy, and now we have a remake. But it looks like we should be getting underway pretty soon, guys, so don't go anywhere just yet. And yeah, I know I'm on Kara. Camera. Jesus. I was trying to say Kawa and camera, and I came out with Kara. No, I'm not dating anyone named Kara. Not right now, anyway. You wouldn't know.
One day.
One day.
Unfortunately,
if there are any Karas, it's a good name.
Unfortunately, cast, it does not leave much room for women.
No, definitely not. Unless they like to be up from like 2 until 8 a.m.
No.
Well, we could always move to Singapore. We get some Lamborghinis, Ferraris.
I have one there waiting for me.
Yeah, I know.
Winter's been asking for a
He wants to take you on a joyride.
He needs a new home to worry about.
Shamelessly sipping some water, my BTS mug.
I will refrain from drinking from my beverage.
Yeah. It's not alcoholic, guys. Definitely not.
Yep.
We'll have a quick remake here, and seems Vikramanda snuck his way into our channel. He'll be doing some stats today, I guess.
Yeah, Vikramanda will be doing some stats and in-game stuff. We'll be experimenting with the new system there. We'll see how things go. Hopefully you guys like it. Unfortunately, we developed a new overlay system. Valve is too good. They made it obsolete.
They stole it. They stole all our good ideas. Actually, I'll be honest. The item pickups... We didn't come up with that. That was something Ace did for their last season, and we thought it was fantastic. So we took it, we tweaked it, we used it, and apparently Valve liked it. So shout out to Valve for adding these features. I mean, gods, this is where we just need new stuff.
Yeah, we need new stuff.
So if you have ideas for cool things you'd like to see in the production, you can definitely email us, bts@beyondthesummit.tv, or tweet at LDDota, at BTSGods. And if your idea is good, we'll use it. Don't give us crappy ideas. Though.
And we'll take full credit for it as well.
Yeah. And then we'll give you a half-hearted shout-out at some point. No, we'll give you credit, of course. But, man, I'm just recuperating, guys. I had a long day. I won't even call it a long night of drinking, because by the time we finished, it was like 7 a.m. But
well, as you can see, I'm just like in chillax mode right now. I'm in my pink t-shirt.
Your summer t-shirt.
Looking
good
as ever. Yeah. This is like, okay, TI3 is qualifies over. G1 League Land Finals over. We just had 10 straight days. Okay, not 10 straight days. There was one day off after G1, but we had basically 10 days of non-stop work.
Yeah.
This, to me, it feels like a day off, really.
Yeah. Like, one best of 3? Easy.
Sure, I'm casting.
Yeah.
And chill. It's good.
And no Lumi here to butcher the pronunciation, so it's so easy now. Don't have to go wake up Blitz or AUI, which is always fun. Those guys like to nap.
We don't have an analyst panel, but hey, we can do without
we have a secret analyst, but we can't reveal him on camera. As Jarrett will probably reveal him on camera right now. I'm just watching the preview monitor to see. No, don't do that.
No.
Keep our man Scott secret. So, Kawa, what's your predictions? You're the producer.
We'll throw Kawa under the bus.
Kawa's an LGD fanboy. He likes Xiao 8. He likes his charming, boyish good looks. Gods likes Yao. I'm a Tron man myself. Tron, lovable, needs a hug. Really does need a hug after the way G1 went for them. That was, I mean,
Very
for any
emotional
team,
guy.
that was a very frustrating event, and especially for IG.
Yeah, IG of all teams, and not going to be happy about that. And mention that for them, it's all about winning, and they can't win in G1 League for the life of them. So we'll see how they do here against LGD. This is a new tournament. This is the Dota 2 Super League. $165,000, give or take a few thousand.
Yeah, it's an all right prize pool.
1 million RMB.
We're hosting a bigger one, probably 200K later this year.
This is news to me.
Yeah, no, we're not.
What?
It's a massive prize pool. It's a huge event. The Dota 2 Super League. Very excited. I think it's like 1 million yen or RMB.
Yeah.
RMB, something like that. It's a lot of money, guys. And, well, in order to claim that money, you got to make it to the playoffs. LGD Gaming versus Invictus Gaming. Winner of this best of 3, they will be your guaranteed second-place team. Loser goes down to the tiebreakers with Vici Gaming. Game 1, here we go.
Yeah, game 1 underway. We do see the same first stage of bans coming out. Did they switch sides here? I think Invictus Gaming were always on that first pick. They're going to ban out the Lone Druid, the Darks that we talked about. And Batrider, the last ban we didn't get to see. So Shadow Demon, my prediction for most picked in the East qualifier, it's actually started getting banned a lot by these teams, especially against LGD, because LGD, their sort of core support heroes is Shadow Demon Visage, but this time around it's Invictus Gaming first picking it.
If not banned, he's insta-picked. We've seen a lot of teams actually first picking him. It used to be Shadow Demon was sort of that second or third pick. Rare to see him go on the first stage, but we'll see it here. They'll follow up with a Chuan, very well known for his microplay, but we have not seen him play junglers in a long time.
No,
there was like a game here or there, but that's about it.
It's always been a game here or there with IGA. Like they used him once in the G League Land Finals against LGD International, but it's never a regular staple hero of theirs. I'm more surprised by the Gyrocopter, though, just because this is a hero that IG haven't been using a whole lot, and most likely going to be the sort of main carry for Zhou. I like it because it fits Zhou's playstyle with the IG team. They like to sort of fight early. They don't pick him these hard late game carries. And it's a hero where you get a fast BKB, you can go and lead and basically initiate the fights, or at least be the one taking a lot of that damage.
It's also a fairly self-sufficient solo. You look at this Clockwork pick for LGD, and IG is saying there's probably a decent chance we'll get a Clock versus Gyro matchup. If they want to aggressive tri-lane or dual roam, they have that option. So I think that's the other big thing with Zhou is he doesn't normally get the kind of protection a player like Sylar does when he's on anti-mage or those harder carries, because IG more focused on their early to mid-game tempo.
Yeah, absolutely. LGD, though, they do go with the Nyx Assassin, which Zhao 8's been playing a lot in that solo mid lane. Probably not going to be the case here because of that. Well, I guess Clockwork, like you say, could well be in the off lane. But I feel LGD with Nyx Assassin, they play really well. I think looking at their win rate back in the qualifier, there was something like 6 wins and 1 or 2 losses with it. So they have great success rate with it. They grab the Keeper Light, also a very early Keeper Light pick. This hero not often being picked in the first 3 lately.
I see Kawa moving around behind the computers. I'm worried something is broken, but we'll cast as though nothing is. Now the carry's getting banned by IG. Phantom Lancer, Alchemist, and Spectre, all in short succession. As for LGD, they're banning out Dragon Knight and Kunkka. These are heroes they've been favoring, but, I mean, Kunkka especially, he's exploded onto the scene in China over the past few weeks.
And I think, given the fact that IG have the Shadow Demon themselves, it's such great synergy. I think that's also another reason why we see more of the Shadow Demon bans is because of how popular Kunkka's been. They just synergize.
Good combo here.
Fantastic. You can be sort of a dual lane mid, even it's just a roaming Shadow Demon to set the torrent. It's a great duo to have. IG, on the other hand, they start banning out some of the carries. No Coddle PL for us today.
I wonder what 430 is going to play. You look at the pool right now, and I mean, I guess he could take the Gyro mid, but I imagine something like the Panda, Maybe, well, we don't have the 6.78 changes, but we may see Invoker rise again. Some of the recent buffs. Patch notes just released yesterday.
How did he get changed? I haven't read
I don't think.
detail.
Oh, Alacrity got buffed. I believe the cooldown is significantly lower, and I think Force Staff as well as Yule Scepter both were buffed, which sort of indirectly helps Invoker out as well.
Okay.
And Tornado Damage. Tornado Damage is better with less points in Wex, I believe.
Yep. The one thing that
Or just better
I
at all
actually played an
levels.
Invoker game just today. I was playing some Dota 2, something I do once
Yeah.
every 3 weeks. I was saddened by the fact that I remember that you can't actually EMP while enemy heroes a tornado. That was a sad nerf.
Oh,
They
Ghost
had.
Wall cooldown got lowered as well. Thank you, Stream Chat. 0 minute delay, perfect for pretending I had a chance to study the patch notes. I'll be honest, haven't really read them that thoroughly yet, but we'll look to do that soon. So
All I saw and read was Meepo is now imbalanced.
yeah, and then you just started playing Meepo again.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, guys. We'll see if we get any Meepo play. Probably not out of these Chinese teams. Beastmaster the choice for IG. There's likely your 430 solo mid.
Yeah.
And also something that LGD love to run themselves, but we won't see Xiaowei get his hands on it this game.
This is cool. They can look to push early and just fight and be super aggressive for this lamp. They can round it off with something like a Nature's Prophet for the offlane for YYF. There's a lot of things they can do with this draft. If they get an early game lead, they can just look to start snowballing out of control, take all the other tails with the Chen, the Beastmaster, or their Gyrocopter, a great early to mid game pushing hero as well. Sure, he doesn't have any pushing abilities, but he can stop enemy team from defending just by zoning them out with the flat cannon, with the cooldown, and just by being tanky with the BKB.
Yeah, and Gyro here, who actually did get nerfed, his flat cannon now a 30-second cooldown instead of 20 seconds. We won't see it in this game, but just something to keep in mind for the coming days and weeks is, well, will he still be a popular pick? I think so, but maybe not quite as dominant. Anyway, for LGD, they need that Sylar hero, and it's hard to say how they're going to use these other two picks. They have the Nyx Assassin, they have the Clockwork. We've seen Clock generally as a solo, but can go into a support role, can go offlane, can go mid. You can tri-lane aggressively with Nyx Kodal. You can also play a defensive tri-lane. Where do you think LGD goes from here?
I definitely agree. It's what's Sylar's hero going to be? What's going to be his tri-lane farmer? And that's what all these bans are targeted at, from the Lone Druid in the
4
first
Sylar
stage.
bans.
Yeah, 4 Sylar bans. And a lot of, well, not so much a lot of the LGD bans. I guess most of theirs are sort of targeted at the solo mids, but looking at the popular sort of carry heroes,
Yeah.
most of them are out of the pool here.
Chaos Knight. Oh, there is a Wisp.
Gonna Wisp CK here, something which apparently IG have a bad track record against. And then you look at your Nyx Assassin solo mid for Xiaowei, your offlane Clockwork, and a pretty scary lineup.
Bounty Hunter, the final choice. IG going for a very aggressive lineup, and also a hero that can just blow up a Wisp.
Yeah, Return of the Bounty. I haven't seen this here in a while. I kind of miss seeing him in something which YYF is pretty damn good at. So
They have a lot of bursts now. You have Roar, Axes, Shuriken Toss, Gyrocopter, all of his AoE, even things like Test of Faith and Soul Catcher. Wisp can get just absolutely slaughtered in these fights. They'll go for it
Here we
anyway.
go. Yeah, I think somewhat Bounty Hunter almost preemptively picked as a great sort of hero to burst down the Wisp. It's one of the ways you want to play against a Wisp draft. Is just burst him down as fast as possible. We're seeing a Wisp CK. Chinese Dota, well, times are a-changing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Let's try and wake up here on the side of LGD Gaming. We have one of the last teams to be going to the International 3 this year. They were invited. They now have earned their way back. They've fought, and they've done it. Directorate on the Nyx Assassin. Xiaowei, as he's also known, DD, the support keeper of the light, and really the hero for LGD in those qualifiers, which just wrapped up yesterday. Yao on the Clockwork, heading towards the bottom lane for the time being. DDC playing the IO, something I've never seen LGD run before. Also Dust, picked up by Sylar. He'll be handling the Chaos Knight.
Well, over on the Radiant side, I guess the former World Dota 2 Championships. It's hard to say that anymore now. It's Chuan playing the Chen. We've got Zhou playing the safe lane Gyrocopter, Faith on the Shadow Demon. Mid lane, it's Ferrari 430 with a Beastmaster sporting a pretty spiffy looking Mohawk. And then finally in the offlane, it's YYF playing on the Bounty Hunter.
I'm not sure I like the Mohawk.
I'm not digging it either, but
Then again, we have you at the studio with your ever-evolving cast of hair.
there's
so.
not much more I can do now. Like I had probably about 5 or 6 different styles throughout the last 10 days, but now it's like, okay, this is the end.
Where's my God talk? We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll try and convince him. We'll do another Kickstarter. That'll be one of the rewards.
I guess
you can choose God's
I can actually like shave
new
like
hairstyle.
symbols and stuff into my head, like shave some lightning bolts, my initials.
Yeah, go full Pikachu here.
Yep.
Please don't do that. LGD, they'll be waiting for this top rune. Sylar, will he get anything? Nope.
This
Rune's
is good
gonna
for
spawn bottom.
YYF because he would have seen the dust there, so he knows he's going to be up against level 1 dust, which is just as scary, if not more scary than sentries, because you can't run out of vision. So that's going to help YYF quite a bit. He's going to look to go around. He's actually going to go up top, probably to around near the tier 3 tower and pull the second creep wave which spawns, which is clever because The LGD supports will look to try zone him away from the first creep wave, but they won't be there for the second one.
For IG, they have a Beastmaster. Oh man, that's pretty big. We'll get used to these stats drop downs, but actually having them on my screen is something I was not prepared for. Vic Ramon, get out of my face, yo. Big shout out to Vic for doing all these stats. So we'll have YYF as the offensive jungling, basically bounty hunter, where he's just kind of being disruptive here, trying to deny LGD their stacks, their pulls, and also pulling the waves, like you said. For IG, they have 3 heroes that could just be off the map at any given time. The Shadow Demon, the Chen, and then, of course, the Bounty Hunter later on. So it's going to be very important for Xiaowei to keep his map awareness up here.
Yeah, and Xiaowei probably wants to just, for the most part, just get those early levels. He doesn't have to be too worried right off the bat about the ganks coming in, but he knows around that sort of 2 to 3 minute mark, Shadow Demon Chen do have the ability to gank him and get a very easy free kill. Top lane, YYF has managed to get the creep web back to his tower, so this is where Bounty Hunter as an offlane hero is just so annoying.
One of the harder heroes to zone out because he has so much base armor. 6 armor at level 1 and a poor man shield. You have a Wisp who barely does any damage at this point. You have a Keeper of the Light who can charge Illuminate, but you just walk away from that. Later on they can kill him, but early on, once he gets the first few levels, actually a very hard hero to burst down, despite being an agility hero.
Yeah, definitely agree there. And with this, actually, he gets a creep wave pushed out well to his house. So he's going to get some easy, free early levels. Clockwork at bottom lane, nothing of the same sort. He has got XP on the first creep wave while the Chen was jungling, the Shadow Demon was pulling, but he's going to have a tough time now, especially because he never knows when those Shadow Demon Chen ganks are going to start coming.
We'll see some really impressive stats for YYF's Bounty Hunter. Of course, this was when IG was just rolling everyone as well with the face rush lineup that we saw in G1 League Season 4. Haven't seen them run the hero as of late, so if those stats are still relevant, we'll have to wait and find out. But Gods, how do you feel about the trades? IG, they're up against the CK Wisp, and they're not contesting. They're not denying any of the Wisp's levels. So we're going to see a fast level 6 at the rate things are going. Is that okay for IG? Are they getting enough?
I think IG are doing just fine. I think both teams have done the most that they can with their lineups, and I don't really give either team a significant advantage based on the drafts of the lineups. The big things is going to come from the rotations from the solo mid, whether it's Ferrari or Xiaowei, who has a better control over the mid game. And then, of course, with CK, very unpredictable, very volatile, but if IG gets some kills and with a Bounty Hunter with track gold, you're looking fantastic. And Bounty Hunter's getting XP. That's all that matters. I feel IG, if anything, are slightly better off because Bounty Hunter hasn't been zoned out of the lane.
Yeah, Yao does hit level 2 on the bottom side of the map, so he's getting something, but I mean, truth be told, neither of these solos is that great at finding experience elsewhere. We'll see our first smoke of the game from IG rather early on. Chuan, as well as Faith, grouped up, heading towards the bottom lane. Can they find that elusive first blood?
I love this Observer Ward. This makes getting this kill so much easier.
If they can find him, it absolutely will. And he's going to walk right towards them, but he might reveal the smoke from the high ground. Nope. Looks like they'll back off. They're going to hide in the Roche pit. Now dangerously close to mid. Meanwhile, 430 actually going to eat an Impale mid lane, and Xiao8 starting to go to work on him. Pops the Illusion Rune. They'll go back up the hill. They were waiting for him to back off. That ward could prove to be the difference maker here, but Yao is really tucked away quite nicely under the trees. Can they find him? This is a long way to go. They'll start with the disruption. Can they get the first blood? Yao caught by the illusions, trapped inside his own cogs, and blown up. Didn't even get the death notification. There we go. But an easy first blood for
That's
IG.
how hard it is to play offlane. You know, Yao is playing that offlane so fantastic, even though he dies there. When he actually roamed over towards his own ancients, he was scouting for the smoke gank. Because if he runs into the 2 smoked heroes, the smoke gank doesn't work because they can't kill him without the gyrocopter. But the problem is he scouted for it, it wasn't there, he went back to lane, and then they came out.
It's because they had the ward behind the tower that you pointed out. If that's not there, they don't know that he's coming. They don't back off, and they get spotted out. They're going to go in again on bottom lane. Yao caught out the net. The rocket barrage. It will be your second kill of the game. And
yeah. The first blood a bit excusable, that one a bit unnecessary.
My goodness, these death notifications are like 8 seconds delayed. This is so bad, but, well, at least you see the kills a little bit after they happen. Sorry about that, guys. Not a whole lot we can do as far as the connection goes.
Yeah, we will see. YYF at top lane. He's almost hit level 4 now. And the thing is, even with Sentry's Dust, killing him is not the easiest thing in the world. With CK, I guess, is the one way you can do it, but he's just going to be as annoying as possible, getting XP, getting levels, and great trades for IG here early on in game number 1.
They do have a pretty strong 5-man lineup as well. We'll see Faith go back to the base. Already hits level 4, but you look at this IG lineup, if they can get a relatively fast mech, Beastmaster, maybe an early Blink, and Gyro a BKB, IG can go 5-man, and LGD, they've got good AoE, they've got good counter push, but, well, they need a lot more levels before they really hit their prime. Only level 4 on the CK, only level 4 on the Wisp, which is good early on, but they're not a lineup that wants to fight now. They want to fight in 5 to 8 minutes, and that's where maybe IG can take advantage.
Yeah, and IG have done something pretty smart here at the bottom lane. They push down the fast tier 1 tower. The problem with that is you push out the lane, but then they start using this pull camp. By pulling this, they pull the way back. So Clockwork, despite having his tier 1 tower being taken, he's not going to be getting much XP because of these pulls being used by the supports.
And what does Yao do? Offlane Clockwork, one of the big downsides, you can't go jungle. You can't really gank effectively until you have your hook. Without boots, there's just no way you're getting a range for Cogs, and even if you do, likely to die. So he's pretty much, all he can do is stack Ancients. That's about it.
Yeah, and it's not really something which LGD can look to even be killing off. They don't have any good Ancient killing heroes, which is going to make this hard going late game. We are going to see Shadow Demon come towards the mid lane, drop an Observer Ward Sentry as well. Mostly just, I guess Nyx Assassin has hit level 6 now, so they'll see any attempted kills on the mid lane.
Xiaowei just used his TP, so they know he won't be ganking unless it's under cover of Vendetta for a little while here, but TP's cooling down. He'll have it up soon. As for 430,
Top
back
lane.
at the base, they're going to go in top lane. YYF in trouble, able just to get out of range of the Illuminate, but the Wisp Spirits are enough to complete the kill. You get your notification now. That's going to drive me insane.
Hopefully that's something we can get fixed maybe for game 2. It seems to be fine on my computer. Maybe game 2 we can look to fix things up here. But Xiaowei will grab a DD rune upon him. Looks like Chen was actually trying to deny it with a creep. In the end, he feeds even more gold to Xiaowei, so he's going to be pretty happy about that pickup.
Sylar, top lane, just continue to push away at the tower. Can they get this tier 1?
Zhou at bottom. He's overstayed his welcome.
Well, he's pretty tanky, though. They have the Helm of Iron Will. Double damage is here from your Nyx. Can he get that last hit to kill off Zhou? Zhou's on the run with the phase boots. It's not quite enough. He will go down, and well, back to top lane. YYF trying to defend this tower. Do they have Dust? Do they have a Sentry? They have a Sentry, but they're not going to pop it. And DDC, that 0 base armor, look how fast he drops. That's the beauty of the Bounty Hunter. You get some early levels, and he can just make the Wisp explode.
They do bait out a TP from Ferrari. Ferrari actually TPing to the top lane. I think he thought the Wisp CK were going to go on the Bounty Hunter and the tower, but Ferrari TP's in, wasted as well, and not getting much done here at top. He's going to have to
They're
start
going to go again
elsewhere.
in a bottom lane. This time it's going to be Faith, the one who's caught out.
Nice.
They're starting to really find these kills. The early movement from Xiaowei has been pretty much impeccable. Unlike 430, every gank looks like it's going to result in a kill. There's your Cogs. He does go down, but the turnaround comes in the form of call down Chuan. Well, he throws out a test of faith, but there was a Carapace there. Xiaowei's still on the run. Looks like he's going to get away. In the end, they find a kill. They get out, and they're getting levels on their Wisp. So back and forth we go. Pretty even game so far.
Yeah, very close to that Wisp level 6, and once we see that, these small 2v2, 3v3 fights are going to go so well for LGD, because they'll be bringing in the Wisp CK almost every single time possible.
Well, for the time being, they're content to sit back. They did lose that early tier 1, but now Yao's gotten the levels he was lacking. Up to level 5, you compare that to YYF, he's like 3 or 4 creeps behind. And at one point, YYF was probably a good 2 to 3 levels ahead.
Yeah.
So the tides really have turned, and that's such an important hero to get levels on. Clockwork under-leveled, he's pretty much food, but when he gets his levels, he can have a big impact.
It's the great thing about Xiaowei solo mid Nyx. He comes bottom for 2 ganks in a row, and kills is what's going to get you more XP than getting the creep wave pushed out. That's what really catches you up fast, and Yao, he's now hit level 6.
What can YYF do with his own level 6 on that Bounty Hunter? He's got access to track, and this is where you really want to make sure your first few ganks are successful. Tron comes in. Middle lane, they're going to go for what looks to be a 4-hero smoke, and middle lane, it's pushed out slightly. There is no dire vision of this, but top lane for LGD, you look at the map right now, and it's a little bit suspicious to have this many heroes off the map.
They'll see the one hero Zhou at mid. I guess LGD maybe expect the support to be sitting behind Zhou at mid because he's playing so aggressive.
They're going to go in now. No roar. Oh, 430. Looks like he just got fogged there. Couldn't get it off track onto Sylar. It is nighttime, so I guess he lost the vision.
Wow, and everyone reveals himself at top lane. So an unsuccessful smoke gank top for IG. They were expecting a push coming out because of how low the tier 1 tower is, but not successful.
Cute little item build from Zhou. He's not rushing the BKB. He actually goes for Helm of the Dominator, and then you look at their lineup, and they've got a Chen. So they have 1 extra creep for the army. I guess they want to use this to push. To be fair, though, they are pushing into Keeper of the Light, and DD already level 5, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy push, though. I think more than anything, IG just want to fight. They've got Roar up. They've got Bounty Hunter track. They need to get kills. They need to have clashes start happening now, and clashes which they aren't losing to a Wisp CK. So they're bringing a lot of heroes to make sure that Wisp relocate can't overwhelm them.
I like how they're pushing the Wisp lane because that means it's not too easy for CK Wisp to do what they want to do. They'll start with the Axis here, track onto Xiaowei. He eats a roar as well. Now taking a lot of damage. The tether from DDC, not going to accomplish too much. Xiaowei's alive. He will go down. Tons of spells being thrown around. I actually might just cast them over your screen here because I cannot see what's going on mine. Yao dropping low, drops to the Axis as well. And YYF on the back foot trying to run away. Can he get out of here? It looks like 430 picks Yao off. YYF trying to retreat. Chen goes down as well. LGD, a very hard team to dive the tower against.
Yeah, it looks like a 2-for-2 trade in the end, though, but Not sure if it does go as well as IG would like. Losing the gyrocopter there. Gyrocopter with a fast helmet on my face boot, not the best item build for fighting with. You want something like a Drum of Endurance for all the extra stats you get if you want to fight this early. Sure, the helm gives you some nice armor, bit of damage and lifesteal, but it's not really anything to make you tankier. He went down so fast after killing off Nyx Assassin.
Faith goes back to bottom lane. He'll be farming up a bit. He's got his level 6 now, I believe. Indeed he does. So that Demonic Purge, very handy against this melee heavy lineup that LGD has. And for LGD, what I would like to see them do is have the CK Wisp in one lane pushing and then the other 3 defending. If they actually go on you, you can relocate in. It wasn't really the most efficient result, but still 2 for 2, not too bad.
It's where, like you mentioned, that pushing the lane where Wisp CK is means you're not going to get caught by surprise by any shenanigans.
Yeah, it was a 4-hero smoke in the end. LGD couldn't react in time, at least to switch the lane that the CK Whisper. And Xiao8 now hunting the enemy jungle. He's under cover of Vendetta. Can he find a kill? He'll run right into Chuan. Chuan could get blown up here. He'll drop real fast. Xiao8 just making plays, 6 and 4. You look at his Nyx Assassin and 2, 1 and 2.
That's really clever as well, because he used his Vendetta from the lane to come scout out the Chen. He knew Chen had to go to the jungle to pick up a creep because the creeps died in the last team fight. So that was just really smart, awareness from Xiao8. Complete.
Meanwhile, top lane, Roar onto DD just gets blown up by the Shuriken Toss, which is now maxed, as well as the Roar, the axes. So IG striking back, and for them, they get track gold. Little bit of an advantage there.
Yep, they do start getting some track kills here, which is what they really need. That's the other thing with that last 2 for 2 team fight. I think at least one of those 2 kills would have been a track kill, which for IG is a decent chunk of money. Looking at the gold graph, it's IG who are ahead by 3k gold with that early tier 1 tower, but on top of that is more money mid lane.
Poco's in mid lane. Yao trying to jump in. The CK Whisper there. They catch out Zhou. He doesn't have a BKB. He'll get blown up, and they find a nice kill. And, well, first relocate gank, call it successful. Always dangerous to go aggressive against the CK Wisp.
Yeah, CK Wisp can just turn those fights around oh so easily, and, well, Yao is tracked up near the mid lane, so we're not going to see too much follow-up aggression, but with Hook showing cooldown, he's not really looking to initiate it, and LGD, what they'd love more than anything is to get this top tier 1 tower finally.
I would like to see them do what they did before, and if IG are going to create pressure, do it in the top lane, because that's where Siler's farming, that's where the Wisp is. Otherwise, you go gank other lanes, they relocate on top of you, at least if it's off cooldown. YYF TP's in top, only sitting on a Bracer, and the item progression isn't really that great for our Bounty Hunter. Hasn't found too many track kills so far. YYF, I feel like IG isn't getting enough. They went for the early helm of the Dominator on their Gyrocopter, a great item for farming and maybe pushing with the creeps, but Zhou can just be exploded in these fights. I feel for IG, they need a lot more items if they want to continue to fight. You look like 3 or 4 minutes out.
They're going for another smoke gang. This is just early game aggression from IG. They know they've got to make this count. They are ahead, but it's not going to last for long if they don't fight, if they don't find kills. So they go for a 4, it's even 5-man smoke right into the enemy jungle.
Let's see if they can make it work. I think they're... Oh, Dire Observer Ward's here, but they are smoked up. It won't be spotted. 430 leading the way. Can he find a Roar here on DD? DD runs through the tree line, not yet caught out, able to juke and dodge. And in the end, another smoke gank that may not be successful. They track him, but that's a very dangerous tower to dive. Again, you're up against Relocate, you're up against Cogs, you're up against a Nyx Assassin. And look at IG's wards. In general, just fantastic vision everywhere.
Yeah, but bad luck as well
or
as
LGDs,
good,
I mean.
a bit of bad luck as well as good positioning from LGD's Keeper of the Light there. When you're going uphill on a smoke gank, there's always that slight chance that they see you before you see them and they just run the hell away, which is the case there with Keeper of the Light. So IG, they're forced to just go for a tier 1 tower now instead of the kills that they want.
DD, a bold teleport, barely able to TP in and get out in time. Doesn't get Roar. Now your hook comes in, catches out Zhou. He's trapped in the Cogs. The Roar goes onto Sylar, but can they actually blow him up in time? He's still relatively healthy. He'll turn around here. He is tracked. This is where your Bounty Hunter can make a difference. Tries to go on DDC. Can't get in range just yet. YYF driven back. Now the dust. YYF could be your second kill. Caught in the Cogs. Blown up and a haste through to spawn top as well. Yao's going to go and snag that. LGD, just great reactive play here. IG, keep on forcing the issue mid and keep on getting punished by the relocate.
It could have gone even worse. Gyrocopter got saved by a Test of Faith send back from the Chen, and if that doesn't happen, that fight goes horribly, horribly wrong.
Or not by the relocate, just by the CK Wisp combo. I mean, Zhou, he gets caught out by Impale, now pulled back in, and Sylar blows him up as well. 1 by 1, IG are just absolutely getting torn apart here. LGD, they will back off. They haven't lost anyone. They're all sitting so incredibly low. Sylar on the run. He's going the wrong direction, though. He'll fall. The turnaround may come. Hasted Xiao8. No purge to remove that haster, and so he will barely escape in the end. When it's all said and done, 10 to 6, LGD pulling farther ahead.
He gets a second choke poison on him, almost got chased down there because of that track extra movement speed, but LGD, they're winning these fights, and that's something which IG, considering they've got the early aggressive lineup, you can't afford to have, and LGD just fighting and initiating smarter. The clockwork goes in, They've burst down the gyrocopter, and this gyrocopter just has no defensive capabilities apart from that Chen sendback, which we saw.
Well, they get the tier 1 mid, so in the end, they get the tower gold, and Bounty Hunter working towards the drums. They're still in the game because of track gold, but it just doesn't feel like a dominant lead for IG. They have 2 towers. LGD only have the 1 top, so part of that lead is just tower gold, and my big concern is Sylar's getting quite fat. He's got an Ogre Club up, and I mean, you do have a decent amount of physical damage, but I feel like if you don't roar him at the exact right moment, he can just wipe your team in, say, 2 or 3 minutes.
For IG, I feel like there's just some key items they're missing, which is Gyrocopter either with some sort of extra tankiness, either a Drum of Endurance, or even just pick up an Ogre Club. That 10 strength will make a big difference, and the other key item they're missing is the mech on Chen. Chuan's still a long way to go, and until they have that, it's hard for them to really take these team fights.
For IG, Ancient Stacks. That'll be important for them as well. YYF's going to look to actually pull them. It has been scouted by a Clockwork Rocket, so I imagine LGD may look to contest these. And remember, there's always the threat of the relocate gank if you go there. Xiao in the jungle, 1,600 gold for him. I imagine going for the Blink Dagger next.
Yeah, Blink Dagger would be fantastic. Once again, goes Vendetta into the enemy jungle, looking around for the Chen. Not going to find him this time around, but he can just swing bottom, pressure this lane, force some TPs out even, and just cause some issues for IG.
I like the mech for IG. I think it's really important for them in these clashes. They're all a bit squishy. And LGD, they've got a Chaos Knight, so there's already a lot of physical damage. But the mech is very delayed because Chuan, well, just hasn't had the best success in this early game. He's died twice, 5 assists to his name, sure, but a little bit delayed in terms of getting that mech.
Well, here's IG's last smoke, which they've had bought out, but they've got none left after this one for quite some time. They sing on a sentry ward. It's been spotted.
IG, well, can they actually get in range here? They do have track, and actually the hook comes from Yao. Catches out Joe. That's the one you want. CK Wisp on the backlines. Going to work. Faith dropping fast. Yao, he'll find a kill as well. Gyro hits the ground, and now DDC trying to get away. He'll be going back soon. Chaos Knight just having a ball, having a party in the middle of this fight. Pulls 430 back in. Blows him up with the Chaos Bolt. 2-second stun. One more cleave, and down he'll go. Off with his head, says Sylar. When it's all said and done, they get 3. Maybe 1 track kill.
Bounty not done. He's still in the mid lane. He actually just got a Clockwork at the end, and now he's on the run, though, from Xiao Wei. Windwalk. Can he get out of the Sentry Rain? Not going to happen.
While that was happening, Sylar chased down another. Picks off your Chen. This could be a team wipe if they have detection for YYF. I don't think they do. 2 ships crossed or passing in the night. They will just back off, but they didn't focus the Chaos Knight, and they paid so hard for that.
Yeah, and once again, it's every team fight, IG are on the back foot right from the start, because Yao, he hooks in right onto the gyrocopter. They look to either burst him down, even if they don't kill him, even if Chen sends him back, it's still a lost team fight, because they have nowhere to fight without the gyrocopter damage.
It was cute to start Helm of the Dominator, but he would have had his BKB if he had just rushed it, and you got to feel that makes all the difference in this case. You don't get stunned by Spike Carapace.
Yeah.
You can't Tether stun that, can't Chaos Strike that, or Chaos Bolt that. Clockwork doesn't even affect you, but without a BKB, Zhou is a sitting duck.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin just now picks up his Blink Dagger, so we'll see that flying out to him in just a second. So that item in this next team fights can make a big, big difference in the favor of LGD.
Xiao 8 has a haste rune as well. The Blink Dagger you mentioned coming soon. For LGD, I feel there's no hurry for them. They can sit back, continue to farm, get the BKB on the Chaos Knight. Sylar now up to 1,600 gold. Take 1 or 2 good fights with Relocate, and then go Roche.
Yeah, I definitely see them to probably taking Roche in the next 5-10 minutes if they get the space to do so. Blink, Impale, just sort of baiting out, well, not really baiting out, just harassing Zhou more than anything. Xiao has tons of mana here. Keeper of the Light. Chakra's him back up to full mana and HP, and Zhou, well, he's low. He's going to heal himself up.
He doesn't need mana. He needs HP right now.
Yeah.
And well, the mech was delayed again because Chuan died in that fight as well. So just not quite getting enough track gold. They only have taken 2 towers. Generally, you run a Chen. You have a Beastmaster with Inner Beast. You expect to take all of the outer towers by, I would say, the 12 to 15-minute mark at the latest. Or not all the outer towers, but all the tier 1s.
And what do they do when Sylar gets his BKB? They've got really no answer. Sure, you can roar him, but that's not going to be enough. They don't really have the damage yet until another 10-15 minutes until Gyrocopter has his BKB and 1 item on top of that to actually bring him down. And
Chaos Knight, one of the hard roar against reliably because there's the illusions to worry about. If you get Phantasm off, how do you know which one is real? That takes a few precious seconds. Also, he can just be relocated in the middle of the fight. We'll see Xiao 8 coming in now with the haste rune. YYF just revealing himself. Gem is there. Blink, stun. The follow-up comes. Pulled back into the tether. Blown up by the Wisp Spirits. Another easy kill for LGD. They still have relocate if they need it. They can use it. And they're just going to start sieging away at this tier 2 top.
Yeah, IG are going to be able to easily defend this. LGD, despite having these great team fights, they don't really have a strong pushing lamp to back it up. So even when they get a pick off here, they win a team fight. We're not seeing a lot of towers being taken. In fact, they've only taken the 1 tier 1 tower at top, which was up against the off-lane Bounty Hunter, which is, well, the easiest tower for them to take. So they're just back to farming. LGD's plan is to just get up these BKBs, get up the mech on the Wisp, and just get up these strong mid to late game items.
At the rate we're going, DDC's mech won't be that far behind Chuan's. Chuan, well, actually, there's your buckler recipe, but still needs the mech recipe. Just hasn't really had... He had that good early gank bottom, but since then, just keeps on dying, and it's largely because of Xiao and his movement on the Nyx.
Yeah. We're going to see, wow, completed BKB for the Chaos Knight. So the item progression for LGD is just looking quite a bit more impressive than IG. The gold is still more or less even between the two teams. We're not seeing a big difference, but I feel LGD, it's just the gold going to the right places. The BKB on Chaos Knight, the Nyx Assassin with the Blink Dagger. They've got the map control with this gem now. They're the ones controlling the pace of this game.
It's not that IG is out of the game. They can still take this late with things like Inner Beast, Roar, Demonic Purge. These spells scale well into late game. You always have track gold. And you do have a gyrocopter. If the gyrocopter gets big enough, he can deal with Chaos Knight late game as long as he gets his BKB off. But one of the best heroes to deal with illusion-based carries. But problem is, it's going to be a long road before they're at that point.
Yeah, and you can see just IG, they see this BKB on Silo, they're like, okay, you take this tier 1 bottom tower. We don't want to fight you. We don't want to have anything to do with that. As basically, well, LGD can finally now take towers because of this BKB.
Xiao 8 just hunting the jungle creeps. Even Chuan's creeps can't catch a break this game. Xiao 8 with the early gem, controlling the map beautifully, and I'm feeling very claustrophobic if I'm IG. Taking a look at the map and the vision they have, it's not much. And up against CK Wisp, you want to have as much vision as possible to see any kind of ganks coming in. And IG, look at the defensive posture, just all clustered around the tier 1 mid.
And the problem is, defensive as you want to be, Hookshot can catch you from anywhere. You've got a Blink Nyx Assassin who can just go for Blink Impales. He doesn't really put himself in that much danger because of the Carapace, and it's so hard for IG to even play defensively.
It's such a good tactical position for LGD because if IG tries to go bottom, they have to send their entire team, or Wisp, CK relocate on the heroes that remain mid. And that means when everybody goes bottom, they just push mid instead. LGD just basically toying with IG, and I think now really showing that if they don't fully know how to exploit CK Wisp as well as the Western teams, they're improving at it a lot.
Yeah, this is a very, very perfect play coming out from the Wisp CK. Had a really fast level 6. We're seeing LGD just control the flow of the game here, despite having that early game deficit. They did not win the laning stage. That was where IG came off slightly ahead with the better offlaner. The Bounty Hunter just sort of getting more XP, more out of that. But now that we're getting ourselves into the mid game, LGD with CK being just used to perfection. As always, Xiao 8 on that Nyx Assassin, on any solo mid, just controls the game.
It's very unusual. The name Director 8, it started off actually as sort of a joke about how LGD would throw early and then he would direct them to sort of this comeback victory, and it was all a part of the script to make things more exciting. But nowadays, it's just him directing the flow of the game and doing it beautifully. He's under cover of Vendetta, hunting in the Radiant jungle, and meanwhile, Sylar, DDC, they're pushing bottom. What do you do? Gods, if you're IG, they're being forced to react, and their lineup was kind of built around pushing early towers, dictating the flow of the game, and getting a lot of track kills. We're not seeing that.
I don't know what the backup plan necessarily is here. I guess they're getting okay farm. BKB on the Gyrocopter and the Ag Scepter being picked up by Ferrari is kind of like their next go-to plan. They're going to slow down that Aghanim Scepter on Ferrari by actually picking up a gem, so they realize they need to get some map control back of their own. I love this Observer at bottom lane, although it is going to get dewarded. I've never actually seen that placement before.
It's like just out of tower range.
Yeah.
And sees so much of the lane. Yeah, I like it a lot as well. You just compare the supports in this game, and I think that's really the story, is DD, 4 staff up on your Keeper of the Light, mech almost complete on DDC, and then you look at face Shadow Demon, earn, and that's it. Couldn't even buy the gem for 430, and normally the Chinese teams, and in general most pro teams, they don't want the solo mid to be buying the gem. They'd rather the supports do it, but they're just not farming well.
Yeah, DD picks himself up a 4-staff. Everything looking good for LGD. They're up 15 kills to 7. This is game 1, and we've been saying all they have to do is win one game, and they're guaranteed to go to the playoffs. IG, they're guaranteed to go to the playoffs, but they'd much rather be in that second place position. And hey, they'd love to just win this 2-0, beat down a team like LGD, get back some of that pride.
Well, the pride can't be flowing right now because they're having a lot of trouble relocate. Coming onto Zhou, he goes for a haste room, but gets impaled. Hook as well. It's a party. And Zhou didn't invite LGD, but they're crashing it anyway. They'll find an easy kill there, and that delays the BKB. Just picked up the Mithril Hammer. Yeah. Pretty disastrous time to die, to be honest. Yeah,
and with CK, they're back top. They're actually going to look for a pick off here on Faith. It looks like they'll get Impale. Does get dodged by a self-disruption, but
delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
There's your tether stun. Faith, he'll be melting. Chaos Bolt brings him down, and what do they do now? They can't defend this tier 2. Roche is easily next if LGD wants it. Now 3k gold up on Sylar, getting fat.
Yeah, tier 2 gone, and I don't even think they care too much about Roche. They're doing so well in these team fights that if they can just keep getting pick-off after pick-off, they'll be perfectly satisfied with that. Xiao 8 gets himself a value booster, one of the sort of most cost-efficient items for any hero as far as raw HP goes, and this is going to make him tankier, harder to kill, and
a value booster.
yeah.
Now we've heard it all. Xiao 8, he'll blink towards the mid lane. They'll continue to keep the lanes pushed out, and they have a good lineup just for split pushing. Keeper of the Light, Clockwork Rockets, and CK Wisp. All the lanes can constantly be pushed in, and IG, it really limits their ability to get out on the map and actually ward, which you have the gem on 430. He even bought it for himself. You get this not only to spot the Nyx, but to keep the map control up, and they can't even do that because all the lanes are constantly pushing in. They'll go in now. They pull YYF into the tether, but actually backing off, has the BKB, just picked up a fresh, shiny Reaver. Chop, chop, once YYF. Can't bring him down yet. No, in the end, the send back from Chuan will save his life. Still going into Sylar. Wants another kill. Can he find it? Not able to yet. Eats a roar. Oh my goodness, it's an absolute slideshow, but 430 doing what he can in the middle of this fight. He'll back off for the time being. Xiao 8 jumping in again. They blow up YYF in the end. He was sent back. He ends up dying. On the backlines, DDC hunts down the Shadow Demon, kills him with the Wisp Balls, and now it's time for a tier 2 mid.
Yeah, for LGD, it wasn't the cleanest fight of theirs, but Xiao 8 goes in for a blink to her impale and absolutely just
blew him up.
Yeah, blows up IG, take out the supports, and IG, even with an okay-ish fight, they didn't stand a chance. The item deficit is just too big right now.
They're not killing Sylar either, and despite CK not being the best hero in terms of his farm rate, he's not dying. He's 137 CS. Yeah. He's also preventing Gyrocopter from farming, and now Sylar getting close to a Heart of Tarrasque. At that point, you just can't kill him.
Yeah, and I just don't feel that IG... I think the items have come too late. The BKB on Gyrocopter, the Aghanims on the Beastmaster, which is just being picked up, and the Mech on Chen. They needed these items when these first team fights were happening. Like, well, maybe not the Aghs. That's obviously much more of a luxury item, but
yeah.
The Mech, the BKB, these things could have come up a lot sooner for IG if they wanted to.
I just really like the way LGD has played this. Every time early game when they would let IG force the fights, but then they would have TPs ready. They had a great defensive lineup to punish tower dives, and they haven't forced the issue too much. We saw some of the Asian teams were trying to be really aggressive and greedy with relocate ganks, but this is really when CK Wisp are most effective. When you mostly use it as a reactive spell, you'll go for that one relocate gank if it's a sure bet, but the threat of relocate often better than actually using the spell itself.
Yeah, no, definitely agree here. And once again, it's the 3-2 split with CK off on their own. The other three LGD heroes grouped up. And how do you react to this if you're IG? It's difficult. You can't go on the 3 heroes because with CK go in, and if you look to go on the Wisp CK, well, they can just relocate out, maybe sack the Wisp, or they bring in rotating heroes.
If you can even kill Sylar,
yeah.
Which is a tall order at this point, because your Gyrocopter actually does almost no damage. YYF, he's your utility bounty hunter. He's not particularly farmed. They're going to go in on Joe, and oh my goodness, they just blow him up. They were actually all smoked up heading towards the bottom lane, but the backlines just get picked off. Now I get my Gyrocopter notification.
Now we're going to see Wisp get blown up at bottom lane, though. He does not stand a chance here.
Well, DDC, he'll go down, but it's only a Wisp.
Yeah. That was the smoke gank, like you said. They were going bottom looking to pick off the Wisp CK because they know, hey, there's 3 heroes mid, 2 bottom. We can't go on the 3 because Wisp CK go in. Let's go on the 2. They don't have any backup, but Wisp CK, they found the pick off. Clockwork hookshot, Gyrocopter goes down, and that is Zhou's 7th death at 28 minutes.
I mean, I don't want to pick on him too much, but you really do have to question the early Helm of the Dominator because they're up against Keeper of the Light and Clockwork, who's maxing rockets anyway. Hard to push into that, and something like a Helm of the Dominator, their lineup wasn't really built to just sit back and farm. Not up against CK Wisp. They needed to be grouping up and fighting early, and the BKB just does so much more for you than the Helm.
Yeah, it seems to me like the Helm is great if you're going for that late game sort of farm fest, but that's not at all what IG's draft and strategy was. Beastmaster, Bounty Hunter are there. You go fast drums, you go fast BKB. Either way, you need something that gives you tank ability.
And we'll see if they can actually take this Roche fight. They'll try, but it's going to be tough. Xiao 8 lurking on the high ground. He actually eats a roar, I believe, but got force-staffed away. He'll be okay. Now coming back in is your CK Wisp. There's your Phantasm. Sylar going to work, slicing off heads like it's his job, which for right now it is. They've taken down 3. They want Chuan. Can they find him? Hook comes through middle lane. It'll catch YYF, traps him in with Yao, but actually Yao is dropping pretty fast. He needs a bailout here. He'll get it from Xiao 8 and DDC. Relocate. They'll pick off the last survivor. Nobody stands. Nobody withstands the onslaught of the LGD squad, and this is Roche. This might be game.
Yeah, it's a team fight. I would not be surprised at all if IG just tap out, call GG on that, because that fight went so horribly wrong for them. They'll look at some of these LGD items. They'll see a level 16 Chaos Knight, with a BKB heart, and then he wins that fight. That's another 1k gold. Chen buys back. This to me is IG throwing in the towel.
Yeah, almost throwing in the towel. What does this buyback accomplish?
I think that's just Chuan saying, okay, game's over. I'm going to buy back.
I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that they're not even talking about this game anymore. It's talking about what they did wrong, what they can do better for game 2.
They're using this time to get some breathing room, looking for and just to discuss what they want to do in game 2. And yeah, exactly. I definitely agree. I don't think that it doesn't seem to me that they think they're winning this game, because there's no reason you'd want to use a Chen buyback there.
Well, he can take over one of those lane creeps. The good news for IG is they might be able to dominate some mega creeps, because I think that's next on the agenda for LGD. Taking the base, breaking the base, Dagon picked up by Xiao8. Not an item he would normally get, but when you're this far ahead, why not?
Yeah. Why the hell not? You can burst down almost anyone on the Radiant
Even
team.
the Shadow Demon. That'd be such a great hero to just blow up.
Beastmaster, I guess, the tankiest hero that's kind of hard to kill with this fast Aghanim. But I really like Ferrari's played this game. To me, he's been the most stable player who's done his role really well. Just the rest of IG, there's been some gaps.
End of the day, he's a Beastmaster. Beastmaster can't win the game by himself. You can have some good early ganks, but up against LGD's lineup, you need some help from your team. And it's not a hero like, I don't know, the Invoker or the TA who can just snowball completely out of control. You can control the tempo, but your team has to pick up the slack.
Yeah, and it just hasn't happened. LGD, on the other hand, they've just this well-oiled machine. They work so well. There's such great synergy between the players. It's one of the few teams who are sort of one of the best teams in the world, and there's no real standout star players even when you look at the team. They've just got really solid, all-around players all over their lineup.
It's a very quiet team in a lot of ways, and you compare that to a team like IG, 430, pretty vocal, outspoken player. DK, they've got ROTK, and, I mean, Sylar, Xiao8, Yao. These are some of the, at least publicly, some of the quietest and sort of mildest mannered players on the Chinese scene.
Well, here they are making a statement with their Dota rather than their actual personality.
Let the play do the talking. Well, Xiao8, he's got the personality. He saves it for the dating show. They'll go in now. Sylar gets disrupted. His illusions might be the best weapon on the side of IG. Will it be enough? They're actually chipping away at him rather quickly. He'll be driven back. Well,
he's got a heart, so it's, well, any chip it's just that. Chip damage, and then, well...
And then he paints in the cracks.
Dire's top tower is under
And now,
attack.
LGD. They'll go again. No rush here. They can slow siege it.
Yeah, they'll probably just want to not really look to go for a big initiate. And if you're sort of diving into tier 4 towers, you get roared under these towers, you take a lot of damage to 2-3 towers hitting on you. Not to mention BKB's picked up on the Radiant team. Keeper of the Light with a BKB.
DD Dota.
Oh my god.
They'll jump in now. Xiao8, he actually blinks in. Faith gets pushed forward in the middle of the fray. Xiao8 on the run. Can he get out? He won't. The gem hits the deck, but Sylar has a BKB. He's popped his Phantasm. He's going to work. Can he find more kills? He's actually being completely neutered by his own cogs. BKB is down. I think they just want to hit the racks here, but not the best fight for LGD.
They pulled the Phantasm and just sort of was running around like little lost puppies there, but LG, they finally find what they're after. It's the Raxes. They'll get these here, it looks like. Maybe actually... Well, IG, they're just missing Shadow Demon, so maybe they can look to make a fight here.
Sylar's still got an Aegis, though. That's going to be trouble. He doesn't have a BKB. YYF gets pulled in, and the crits. The crits are too much. Gods, I actually want to point out in that fight, I'm pretty sure that DD actually forced that Shadow Demon to the middle. They'll go in now into show, pulling him back in to the tether. Doesn't even get off his BKB. Actually was on cooldown. Didn't even see it earlier. DDC on the run. Can he get out? He should be fine. YYF now trapped in the cogs. These cogs are no fun for anyone. Not fun for LGD, not fun for IG, and certainly not fun for YYF. He'll take a spill, and IG, they'll tap out, but it's been over for a while.
Yeah, it really feels like that. LGD, very, very convincing team fight, and that's really where they excel. Their mid-game team fight, after they get past the laning stage, it's not that their laning stage is bad, it's that their drafts don't really cater for the laning stage. It's all about having these momentum-based heroes. You get those 10 to 15-minute team fights. You have a Nyx Assassin to control the game, and they just do this so well. With CK, we haven't seen it from LGD, but now we have, and it looks good.
For LGD, it's like you said, I feel their mid-game execution is their strong point, and it's just better movement, to be honest. You look at IG, that 4-hero smoke top, only 1 hero on the map so early, kind of a predictable smoke in a lot of ways, and then diving the tower against Clockwork, against Nyx Assassin, against Wisp Relocate. Very dangerous lineup to go aggressive into.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just didn't really work out for IG. They needed to get more out of the Bounty Hunter pick. It was just a number of things. We go on and on about the Gyrocopter build, but it really cost IG a lot. I feel they almost... Sure, you want to get aggressive and be very proactive when you've got the Bounty Hunter, but they also needed to wait out for the key items. The Chen mech especially.
Yeah, and Chuan kept on getting picked off. Part of that is just credit to Xiao8.
Yeah.
Found him repeatedly in the jungle, and even when Chuan wasn't dying, he was worried about getting picked off. LGD take a convincing game 1. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Wisp either banned or picked by IG right away in game 2.
At least in the second stage. That was the thing that caught them really by surprise. It was
Right.
with CK 4th and 5th pick.
Nice pocket strategy from LGD, guys. They'll take game 1, but it is a best of 3. Winner of this will be your second place team in Group A, heading to the playoffs. It's the Dota 2 Super League, $160,000 and change in prize money. A lot of prize money, a lot of pride at stake as well for IG. Can they bounce back, or will they get 2-0 KO'd by LGD? We'll take a quick break, guys, and then we'll come back and we'll find out after that.